I am so happy that you're with me today. Today we are working a psalm spell, and we are working with Psalm 100. And traditionally, we use Psalm 100 to vanquish all negative influences. So we are vanquishing all negative influences by the working of this spell. And Psalm 100 is a very short spell, and it packs a huge punch. So we'll do that in just a moment. But I just want to remind everybody, or if this is your first time working this magic with me, how we do it. It's very simple. We take the psalm and we read it out loud all the way through once without stopping. And that's known as an incantation. And then we go back through the psalm and we take it word by word sometimes, line by line or verse by verse, and we consider the inner meanings of each verse. And through that hunting for inner meanings and contemplating of those meanings, we are thusly planting those thoughts as seeds deep into the fertile ground of our minds. And they take root and they grow and they bear fruit after their kinds. And there are infinite amounts of these magic seeds within the Psalms, so you can never find them all, and the magic is just infinite. So I hope that you enjoy this practice as much as I do, and let's get going on that right now with Psalm 100. Make a joyful noise unto the Lord, all ye lands. Serve the Lord with gladness. Come before his presence with singing. Know ye that the Lord he is God. It is he that hath made us, and not we ourselves. We are his people, and the sheep of his pasture. Enter his gates with thanksgiving, and into his courts with praise. Be thankful unto him, and bless his name. For the Lord is good, his mercy is everlasting, and his truth endureth for all generations. All right, so let's look and see what kind of magic we can perform here with this. So remember, we're vanquishing all negative influences in our life with this. So let's take a look here. We start out with, make a joyful noise unto the Lord, all ye lands. So we are in a psalm where we're not directly addressing the Lord of the Psalms. We are addressing the lands. Now, what are the lands? All ye lands. The lands, remember, this is all has to do with us. So we have to take these things personally. The lands have to do with everything you can see, everything you can consider, all the manifest things in your life, every aspect of your life. All right, so we are commanding all of those manifest aspects of our lives to make a joyful noise unto the Lord. Now, to make a noise unto the Lord, yeah, it's wonderful to just go, rah, that's fine, or get your cymbals or get your drums. It's fine to do that. You can play music. There's so much you can do to make a joyful noise unto the Lord. But really, ultimately, what we're talking about here, a noise is a disturbance in the atmosphere. And that means that we want to disturb all that's going on about us with joy. So wherever there is problem, we want to disturb that with joy. So whatever we can find at any moment of time and point of space in the midst of any of these problems, anything we can find that is joyful, we must focus on that and make it a noise, symbolically even, a noise that disturbs the manifestation of the problem. Serve the Lord with gladness. Come before his presence with singing. So serving the Lord. Now, the Lord is not an entity. It is not a deity. It is definitely nothing anthropomorphic. It's not male. It's not female. It's not a father. It's not a mother, even though it sometimes poetically describes it that thusly in the Psalms. It is the Godhead. It is the top of the tree of life. It's pre-gender, and it is the very essence of all life itself. It's that which is beating your heart right now. And it's the infinite intelligence that creates galaxies and knows how to create a baby out of an embryo or a forest out of an acorn. So it cannot be thwarted. There's only one. There's only one power. All of the universe is one. One power, one presence, one source, one substance. There's nothing to oppose it. One with God literally is a majority. Okay? And if God is for us, who can be against us? And God is always for us. All right, so to serve the Lord with gladness, that means if you want to serve God, if you want to serve that power, that means that you're doing, being, and having all of the things which make you glad. And then you are serving God not only by being glad, but by allowing God to give you that which makes you glad. So all of the things in your life that are going to make you glad are God's will for you. Everything else is stuff you thought up on your own. Now, you may not have thought it up consciously. You may have just kind of gotten involved with the with the group mind of the human race, right? But it didn't come from God. So serve the Lord with gladness. Come before his presence with singing. So it's teaching you how to come before the presence of God. You do that with singing. Yes, you can literally sing. There's nothing wrong with that. Singing is really good for the body, mind, and soul. But when we're talking about singing, again, we're talking about creating a disturbance. Creating a disturbance. That means that anything in the world that is not God's will, we will create a disturbance by coming before God by singing his praises, singing about joy, singing about that which makes us glad. And singing can mean singing meaning figuratively too. You don't have to necessarily always, sing to get what this is talking about. Know ye that the Lord, he is God. Okay, so when we say he, again, that's a problem with our language. But if you know that the Lord is God, a lot of people say, well, God is love. Well, that's true, but we want not so much that just to know that God is love. We want to know that love is God. You know what I mean? So know ye that the Lord, he is God. Know that this source of all good is God, is the source, is creating you, is beating your heart, is doing for us what we cannot do for ourselves. It is he that hath made us, and not we ourselves. That's the only thing that's different between you and God. It's telling you right there. Because in the Psalms, it's very clear, ye are gods, ye are gods. That means that we are created out of the same substance as God. We are divine. The only difference between you and this force is that this force created you, and you didn't create it. And you definitely didn't create yourself. All right? So that's where the authority is with God, because God is the author. Infinite intelligence. We are his people and the sheep of his pasture. Okay, so if you're the sheep of God's pasture, that means God cares for you. That means the sheep don't have to take care of themselves. They don't have to take care of themselves at all. They have to allow themselves to be taken care of. And that's where we are here. Enter into his gates with thanksgiving and into his courts with praise. Praise and thanksgiving is how you enter into the house of God. The house of God is not a church. It's not a temple. It's not a physical place. The house of God is your home. The house of God is the consciousness wherein you thrive. It's where you live, move, and have your being. And the only way to get into that house is through praise and thanksgiving. Bless his name. How do you bless the name of God? Well, the name of anything in the Psalms means the nature of that thing. So the way you bless God is by constantly remembering the nature of God, the qualities of God. And those qualities are infinite, but a few of them that we remind ourselves over and over again are infinite intelligence, perfect love, infinite truth, divine truth. Okay? For the Lord is good. His mercy is everlasting. Now, the mercy is number 4 on the tree of life. So we're talking about a quality of God. The quality of mercy is also the same sphere that gives all blessings, all material wealth, all luck, all financial wealth, all good comes from that. Okay, so for the Lord is good, his mercy is everlasting. So mercy doesn't just mean, it's okay, I won't punish you. That's not what that means. Mercy is constant overflowing of good, regardless of how well you think you deserve it. Even if you think that you don't deserve it, God knows better. All right. And his truth endureth to all generations. All generations in this particular case means forever, that not only your thought forms, but the thought forms that they then sire, they create again and again unto infinity. So we are now giving those thought forms over to God and his truth, because the truth is the thing that sets us free. God's truth is the only real truth. The other things that we think are truth are nothing but illusion. So we want God's truth, because God's truth endureth through all generations. All right, so this is how you work this psalm. You just come back to this again and again and again, and you come back to it until you see definite movement for whatever the purpose is that you brought to the psalm. I love working with you, and I cannot wait to work with you again. And until that time, blessed be.